Hello everyone, Constitutionalist Libertarian here, and in this video today we're going to be taking a look at one that Thunderf00t put out on June 6th, titled Global Warming Stopped in 1998, Busted. Now, this hasn't been the type of video that I've done to this point. I've looked at articles, gone through, broke them down, put my 2 cents in, used logic and fact to debunk things in them, things like that. Well, I was going to actually do a video myself on the whole U.S. pulling out of the Paris Climate Accords. And I saw this video from Thunderf00t, and I just had to chime in on it and correct him. Also call him out for a few things that he's doing in it. Now, the thing is, okay, I know that if this video gets any traction, Thunderf00t's going to try to claim that I'm doing this for views, or I'm doing this for, subscribers, or, things like that. And that's not my intent in this at all. I'm doing this for the fact that he needs to be called out, because since the crack in his psyche with Brexit, and then with Trump winning, it's seriously been affecting his faculties, his sanity. I mean, he's going all leftist, and the thing is with this video, which we're going to get in, I mean, at the rate he's going, we're seriously going to see him, and I wouldn't be surprised if this actually happens. We're going to see him wearing a pussy hat, walking arm in arm with Anita Sarkeesian, okay, marching at like feminist marches and shit, because he is seriously going all out fucking leftist. I mean, for example, with his Brexit video, he did feelings over facts, and it came down to the fact that he didn't want to have his personal life and being able to travel, okay, for like work and that was, oh, how do I put this? Oh, more important than the British, like UK's sovereignty. So, I mean, that's what it basically came down to. So people countered him with facts and said, well, this is what's up with the EU. And he completely ignored them, like, oh, well, these people don't know what they're talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. And it's like, okay, fine, whatever. So we'll just let him be on that one, And then the whole Trump situation with him winning the election, that led to him having a bit of an episode where he went off the deep end because his candidate Hillary, who is big on funding, the science fields because of like climate research, which we're going to get into and show that, for example, they pay for these bureaucrats to live off the government tip, because that government money goes to these scientists and colleges that employ them, and keeps them employed. I mean, that's where they get their money to survive. They couldn't make it in the real world. Thunderf00t is a good example of a scientist who could not make it in the real world. Okay, he can only survive off of the government's tit, and he needs the government to throw money into him funding stupid shit, which I'll show you in his Wikipedia page. I'm just thinking about it, and I'm trying not to laugh, because he actually got paid to do this research that is on his Wikipedia page, and it's actually funny. But anyways, the thing is I'm not doing this to get the views, like I said, or the subscribers. This is about calling him out. And before I do that, let's actually look at Thunderf00t here real quick. And yeah. Okay, so because we also need to look at his background, because he's been acting like this smug fucking expert, because I'm a doctor. Well, you know what, doctor? You know what a thumb is? Fucking take yours and shove it up your ass and spin. Because that doesn't mean shit. All right, because let's see where you actually what you have for a degree. Okay, so you received a BS, all right. So you received bullshit. You didn't get your MS. So it should be, but you see, you decided not to do it. You should have a BS, so we can say bullshit, more shit, and then piled high and deep. But you got your PhD in chemistry. So you're a chemist. That's what you fucking are, dude. You're not a fucking scientist on the note of climate. So here you decided to make a video, and, well, I know what's what, and this is what's this, and you're all morons if you don't listen to me. Well, dude, you're not even a fucking expert on the subject, and you're basically talking like one. So pull your head out of your fucking ass. So let's look at your career. So at Cornell University, all right, which this one really fucking irks me, that you actually got paid to do this because you worked in the food science department until 2012, where you studied molecular interactions between water and sugar molecules. So you dissolved sugar in water and got paid for it. Dude. You seriously would not fucking survive in the real world. Okay, yeah, you did do, molecular modeling with proteins and guanidine, whatever the hell that is. Well, let's see what that is. Guanidine is the compound with the formula HNCNH2 is a colorless solid that dissolves in polar solvents. Is a strong base that's used in the production of plastics and explosives. It is found in urine as a normal product of protein metabolism. It is the functional group. Okay, so, alright, well, alright, I'll give you credit for that, but, dude, you fucking dissolved sugar in water, okay, and got paid for it at a fucking university. That goes to show what would happen if you went out in the real world. You'd be fucking broke, alright? You wouldn't have a fucking job, alright? Now, on the other hand, I've known actual people with doctorates in chemistry who made it big in the private sector. They worked for Dow. They patented a bunch of shit with Dow, made millions working with Dow between their salary and their patent rights, retired from Dow, and they taught me chemistry. Those who can't do, teach. And he could do, did, and then decided to teach. What are you doing? This stupid shit. Okay. So, now, then you've worked at a school in the Czech Republic, things like that. But, I mean, the thing is here, okay? If I wanted to know about dissolving sugar in water, you'd be the man I'd want to talk to. But when it comes to climate, there are other people that I take for information. And a good example, which we're going to get into once we get into the video, because I'm going to bring it up at a certain point. And I'm going to I noticed you cherry-picked your choice of video from that particular person. Why didn't you do this one where it has this person? But yeah, let's get into this now, because I've wasted 9 minutes going and talking about you dissolving sugar into water here. This is ridiculous that you think you're some fucking expert on climate because you've done that. But yeah, let's go here, Thundercuck. Let's break this down and break you down and show you for the leftist little bitch you've become. Because I'm getting sick of you, dude. I used to respect you. I used to watch your shit. And I used to, feel it was informing. But these days, nah, man. It's personal feelings over science.
So with President Trump.
But yeah, let's get into this.
So with President Trump about to pull out of the Paris Climate Accords, or more specifically, now that he's actually pulled out of the Paris Climate Accords.
Yeah, and how the fuck does this concern the UK? You're still in them. You're so for the Paris Climate Accords. why does it matter that the United States pulled out? Because it doesn't follow your little globalist utopia that you've been liking with the EU, and that the US is a sovereign nation, and the man that we elected decided that, you know, I'm going to run on this being one of the things I do, and then actually do it, unlike what your little candidate Hitler would have done on the claims that she made. I mean, dude, you seriously got to bug up your ass with this, man.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
Kind of a cute irony, seeing as Trump was elected in the hottest year on record. Maybe now is an apt time to bust another steeple of the climate change denialist.
Oh, really? So it's the hottest year on record. Well, I've got credible sources here that say that you and the UNFCCC, which you're going to cite for one of your graphs, are full of shit, dude. So let's get into a battle of wits here, because you're basically quoting fucking propaganda, and I'm going to be quoting historical fact and scientific fact. And let's see who comes out on top. And this isn't, you know what? And I dare you to come after me, actually. You know what? I want you to come after me. So let me show you what a little bitch you're being with this, and destroy you with facts, destroy, you know, and call you out for the whiny little, holding a grudge, vindictive little bitch that you are, which we're going to see in a second.
List arguments. No global warming for 19 years. Also known as there's been no global warming since 1998, or there's been a global warming hiatus. Let's see what Lauren Southern had to say about this in 2005, which was...
Excuse me? Don't you mean 2015? Jesus fucking Christ, you didn't even change it in fucking post, dude. Talk about fucking lazy. You're trying to go after Lauren Southern again, because you still got to bug up your ass with her. I mean, you could have gone and chose anyone else saying one particular thing, but you chose Lauren. Why? Because you had a backlash from the shit you pulled on her and lost a lot of subscribers over it? And you're still a little bitter, you salty, poor soul? Is that why? Because we all know it is. Can you admit it? But let's look at what Lauren has to say, because it's about to actually destroy your video less than a minute in, or just over a minute in, by the time she's done. So let's watch that happen.
Was, at the time, the hottest year in recorded human history.
Even the IPCC has admitted that their computer models could not predict the pause in global warming, and that it cannot explain why world average temperatures have shown no statistically significant increase since 1997.
Now this...
Okay. You say Lauren Southern said this, but no, the IPCC, as in part of, you know, the UN and the UNFCC type thing, the International Panel on Climate Change, they're the ones that said that. She's taking what they said and relaying it. So she didn't say it. The IPCC did. And they're saying that you are full of shit and you're being fucking dishonest, because they're talking about median temperature. You're taking this thing all over the graph, and median, because you've got things that go, climate, whether it's weather daily or whatever, it's cyclical. It goes up, it goes down, you know, the seasons change, so on and so forth. Oh, wow. You are a dishonest little fucking shit, dude. Oh, look at what Lauren said. No, that's what the IPCC... yeah, let's go on. Because, I mean, we're in 1:06 in here.
This denial has been around for a long time. Hell, I found this Telegraph article from 2006, that's about a decade ago now, saying that there's a problem with global warming, that it stopped in 1998. And then...
Oh, okay. So, let's actually look at that. I got an article here from the Washington Times, because you went back, how far? 2006. A little convenient there that you had to go back to 2006 to do this, okay? And you're cherry picking from there, because here, deceptive temperature record claims warmest month announcement has no scientific basis. by Tom Harris, and this is from 2015. The U.S. government is at it again, hyping meaningless records in a parameter that does not exist in order to frighten us about something that doesn't matter. NASA and the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration announced this week that according to their calculations, July 2015 was the hottest month since instrumental records began in 1880. Well, the NOAA says that the record was set by 8/100ths of a degree Celsius over that set in July of 1998. NASA calculates that July 2015 beat what they assert was the previous warmest month, July 2011, by 1/100th of a degree. Okay, well, yeah, we're talking minuscule amounts by two organizations here. So you're trying to say hottest, but this is where it gets interesting. And it goes to show how either you actually don't research and you're just spouting propaganda and going after people you don't like because you still got to bug up your ass with them, or you're either just spouting the propaganda or you've actually researched and you've decided to ignore it. Because look, but government spokespeople rarely mention the inconvenient fact that those records are being set by less than the uncertainty in the statistics. The NOAA claims an uncertainty of 14/100ths of a degree in its temperature averages, or nearly twice the amount by which they say the record was set. NASA says that their data is typically accurate to 1/10th of a degree, 5 times the amount by which their new record was set. So the new temperature records are meaningless. That's right, they're meaningless, thunderfuck. Neither agency knows whether a record was set. Such misrepresentations are now commonplace in NOAA and NASA announcements, the same with the IPCC, the same with the UNFCCC regarding this stuff. They are regularly proclaiming monthly and yearly records set by less than the uncertainties in the measurements. Scientists within these agencies know that this is dishonest. Now, either you know it's dishonest and you're being dishonest here, or you're just some asshole who talks like you know every fucking thing and I just proved you didn't, you stupid shit. Yeah, and I'm a fucking asshole. I know I am. So guess what? I'm going to be an asshole to you because you're being an asshole to Lauren Southern and you're dragging her into this for no fucking reason. But I digress. Let's look at my next proof here. July warmest record lie debunked by NASA data on August the 24th, 2015. And I'm not going to read this whole article, but I just want to go and I'm going to put all the links in the description. And we can go through these, here, and you can look at them in detail yourself. The Obama administration politicized bureaucracies are trying to deceive the world once again, this time claiming, falsely, that July of 2015 was the warmest on record. In the real world, it was not even the hottest July since last year, according to the global satellite temperature record, which is considered more reliable and comprehensive than the admittedly manipulated incomplete data relied upon by NASA and NOAA. To make their latest false warmest on record pronouncements, virtually none of the establishment press bothered to mention the caveats on the methodology behind taking the Earth's temperature, preferring instead to parrot official press releases yet again. Now, let's see. They're trying to say that, oh yeah, it's going hotter, and I've got this article here. And they even say that they're parroting these official releases and NASA and NOAA are lying. Okay? And, I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. This is the second article. You're just pulling shit from the UN, from the organization that wants to be the one world government's climate change freaking little thing there. Oh, God, dude. You are seriously a lover of globalism. It's clear, man. Now, here's another one on the big lie becomes official at NOAA. And this one's from 2013. And it goes through, and it actually shows how they've manipulated the data. And if you look right here, oh, look at that. They changed the data because you've got this one here, which has it below 1 degree C, and they bumped it up above 1 degree C. This is the accurate. This is the inaccurate. So now, Thunderfoot, disprove this. All right, and then on that note, and this is my favorite thing, okay, and it goes to show history, but I'm going to actually bring it up later. Let's get back into this.
Then 6 years later, Lord Monckton, a favourite of global warming denialists, stated,
First off, you keep using the denialist term. We're skeptics on the note of man-made climate change being a major impacting factor because there are so many different contributing factors. Like urban sprawl retains heat, but you've got the polar ice caps, which we have one growing at a record rate. The ice there affects temperature. You have things like El Nino. You have things like solar activity. Okay, you have all these other factors, and you're trying to push this. Oh, it's man-made, 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 man-made. Dude, you're a scientist, and you seriously are pushing that. I mean, come on now. And Lord Monckton is actually a very credible guy, and I find it funny because everyone tries to go after him, and there's this one slight problem with it. They make attacks against him personally and don't discredit him with contradictory information. Kind of like, you did here.
Delegates at the 18th Annual UN Gabfest at the dismal, echoing Doha Conference Centre, one of the least exotic locations choose for these repetitive exercises in pointlessness, have a oops problem. No, not the sandflies, not the questionable food, not the near record low attendance. The oops problem is this. For the past 16 of the 18-year series of annual hot air sessions about hot air, the world's hot air has not gotten hotter. There's been no global warming at all. Zilch, nada, zip, bumkiss. Yeah, it takes a special brand of idiot to sit there at what was, at the time, the hottest 16-year period in recorded history.
Ah, okay. Recorded history. That's a very deceptive term, Thunderfoot. See, the thing is that term being used goes to 1880, which I'm sure you know that. Now, 1880 to 2016 is 130, 1880? Yeah, 137 years. Sorry. It's early in the morning here, and I've been up all day. But 136 years. Okay? And you're going by that 136 years on the note of climate in the whole span of the cosmos. Hell, just the planet. 136 years ain't shit. Not only that, ever hear of the Old Farmer's Almanac? See, the Old Farmer's Almanac has been around now since 1792, and it uses things like the sun to predict the weather, and it's been pretty damn accurate because it takes into account those, solar activity, other factors like previous recording of the weather over, a span of time, and it puts that all together. And they've been relatively accurate. They've been on a lot of, in cases, they've been more accurate than meteorologists because of the system that they use. So the thing is trying to say that climate, the whole recorded thing, they're not looking at this, okay? They're not going back to almanac records, which they actually recorded from locations each day. The temperature, they had thermometers back then, and they used them. So we do have a lot of recorded data, but the data that you're saying, since it's been recorded, is a lie. That's from 1880 on. But Farmer's Almanac has been doing it longer than that. Now, on that note, so we've got that, and here's the thing. You bring up since the recorded time, all right? You're not even looking at, let's see, the Little Ice Age. let's go there. Little Ice Age. All right. This was a time, this doesn't get figured in. This has actually been wiped out. Like, out of, like, the larger models. Completely ignored. It's like it never happened. All right. So, here's the Little Ice Age. This is from Britannica.com. Okay, Little Ice Age. Climate interval that occurred from the 14th century through the mid-19th century when mountain glaciers expanded at several locations, including the European Alps, New Zealand, Alaska, southern Andes, and mean annual temperatures across the northern hemisphere declined by 0.6 degrees C or 1.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Which, what they're talking about on the note of the whole, let's go back here, this whole thing right here, that's what they're talking about right in the Little Ice Age, which is the, let's read that again, the mean annual temperature. That's what they're talking about. There was no change in. See, you're a dishonest little fuck. You're not going to talk about that. You're going to look at this. Hey, I got something. See, you're a dishonest shit, dude. I've proved this. So call me out. Come after me. I really don't care because I've got facts on my side. You got feelings. And I'm sure yours are going to be hurt after this. Okay. So it declined that much relative to the average temperature between 1000 and 2000 CE. The term Little Ice Age was introduced to the scientific literature by Dutch-born American geologist F.E. Mathis in 1939. Okay? And basically, it went from 1500 to 1850 or a little bit longer. Okay? Why do you think, you know, there have been times like in up to the 1800s where, oh, the River Thames froze over and it hasn't done it since? Could it be because it was during the Little Ice Age and you're looking at that going, oh yeah, we're getting hot? Dude, you're a fucking moron if you honestly believe that. I've got historical fact to back me. You haven't provided shit for facts except the cooked book facts from the UNFC, whatever the FCCCC, whatever the fuck that thing is. I mean, come on now. The Little Ice Age was followed by the medieval warming period, which ran from... The Little Ice Age followed the medieval warming period, which ran from 1900 to 1300. We're in one of those warming periods. That's what it is. It's not, oh no, CO2. Dude. This right here goes to show that you got no fucking clue because you won't even look at things from historical context. You're like on the note of facts because we're talking facts here. They were recorded from history. Okay? So, my historical facts go on the same par as actual scientific fact, and they're actually talking about historical scientific information when we're talking temperature and, you know, Little Ice Age, and we're talking the medieval warming period. So, yeah, what have you presented? Nothing. You've done a personal attack on Lauren. So, the geographic extent. Information obtained from proxy records, indirect records of ancient climate conditions such as ice cores, cores of lake sediment and coral, and annual growth rings in trees, as well as historical documents dating to the Little Ice Age period, indicate that cooler conditions appeared in some regions, but at the same time, warmer or stable conditions occurred in others. For instance, proxy records collected from western Greenland, Scandinavia, the British Isles, and western North America point to several cool episodes, lasting several decades each, when temperatures dropped to 1 to 2 degrees C below the 1,000-year average for those areas. So they have a history of climate. And they know this stuff. And they're ignoring it. You're ignoring it. And this isn't a matter of history. And I have a degree in history. So if you want to say I don't know what I'm talking about, when I'm talking history, yes, it has a scientific background. And I've had I've taken different science classes like chemistry and that in college. So, yeah, I've looked at those things. So, I dare you to come after me. I dare you. Say I don't know what I'm talking about. I dare you. See, other areas got drought, and then see, the Little Ice Age is best known for effects in Europe. Oh, like the witch trials, because it caused the grain to have a spore, a mold, we'll say fungus, make it easier. A fungus that grew on it, ergot, that made people trip their balls off and think that, oh no, we got witches. I mean, what can you say to that? I mean, they got what it did to the North American tribes. Then they've got causes, and Little Ice is known for certain. However, reduced solar output brought it on. And we're coming into a cycle where we're having a reduction in solar output. NASA just had to admit that we are literally seeing, over the next 50 years, a 1 degree C drop. But then it's going to go right back to warming, according to them. Okay? But I'm going to go back to the video, and people can look at this from the Britannica website themselves. And, yeah. So let's get back into the Feelings Over Fact video that Thunderfoot put out.
And use that to make the argument that there's been no global warming. Yeah, they have this chart, and they make the claim so boldly. They even go so far to cite sources, big mistake, and mock people who question their conclusions. Well, let's take a look at that exact same data in context, shall we? Ah, yes, that's much better. Now, that's the exact data that they use here.
Right. And if you look, you've got 98, then you've got 2015, or, well, 2016, whatever that's supposed to be over there. And if you look, after that spike, this is what gets me. You really are a dishonest fucking shit. Because right here, it's gone down. So you're going, oh, look at how hot it is here. It's honest here. It ain't fucking hot there, you stupid shit. Holy fucking shit. You've got a graph right here, and you're going, oh, yeah. Well, they're talking about the mean, the middle. They're talking about the average. And on the average, we haven't really had any warming. I mean, look at this. You can do the same thing here, and it was consistent. How hard is it to be honest, Thunderfoot? Like, seriously. Because look, it comes down, it goes up here, then it goes down, goes kind of up a little bit, boom, shoots way the fuck down here, comes back up, and it's still, dude, so right now, at the end of this graph, you're saying, oh, the hottest year. Well, at the point that this graph is stopped, it ain't that fucking hot in comparison. Jesus Christ, dude, you are a sleazy, dishonest little fuck. Oh, it's been warming. And look at this graph right here. And see this? Yeah, they're talking, you took the line, you didn't explain the line because you don't want to explain why that line's there. Because what they're saying with that line there, okay, is factually correct. Because that's the middle, that's the average, that's the median, that's the mean, whatever, yeah. It's late, but you know what I mean.
Clearly, there's been no global warming for 19 years. The fact that those 19 years were the hottest in recorded history doesn't seem to bother the global warming denialists. But
well, actually, no, because where I live in New England, it's been relatively cool the last several years in comparison to previous years. And I've lived here pretty much my whole life, except for a stint where I lived down in the south for less than a year. Now, I think my own personal experience and the facts that I see, you know, that I'm presenting, I think going by that, I'm going to say you're full of shit. Because you are full of shit, okay? If you want to look at how, you know, New England has had, unseasonably cool temperatures for the last several weeks and a lot of rain and things like that, it kind of defeats what you're saying here because, oh, hottest year, hottest year, hottest year. Don't look like that's the case when the last several years it's been cooler than usual. And at this time of year it's supposed to be in the 80s and it was in the 50s. Yeah. Really doesn't help you out.
I guess deny is going to deny. And if you take a more comprehensive data...
Oh, a denier's going to deny. Huh. You should take... You're right. You should, like, take that and make that your tag because you're a denier that's going to deny. You're a denier of your actions being the reason why people dropped subscription from you like you were a... You know, like there was no tomorrow. I mean, dude, your subscription level dropped like it was a stone. Oh, well, they're just haters. No. You're just a fucking moron that can't realize the truth. Oh, kind of like this whole situation.
You get something that looks like this, where it's bloody clear there has been no hiatus in global warming. None whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, by...
Aha. Now you bring up Steven Crowder. Now this is where things get interesting. I love how you're cherry picking this particular video when I've got one with someone who's got more credibility on this particular subject, who is a fucking expert on it, that contradicts what you're saying here. But let's get into this one, because then I'm going to go to the one that I have with the other person here, which is Dr. Patrick Moore. But yeah, let's just look at what you're using here to go after Steven Crowder because you're butthurt about him for some reason.
By the way, they call that the pause. Yeah, by the way, there was a complete and total dead stop to all global warming for over 15 years, and rather than readjust their models, current climate scientists employed by your tax dollars simply chalk it up to being the pause.
Yes, you want a real touch of...
Well, here's the thing. That's coming again. This isn't Steven Crowder claiming this. This is climate scientists claiming it. So, when they're actually talking about, like Lauren and Steven Crowder here, when they're talking about what the IPCC is saying, which is part of the UN, and the EU, and, I mean, you know, because they're hand in hand, the UN and the EU. I mean, and they're all working, collaborating together. I mean, dude, they're talking about the IPCC. You're trying to go after people who, because he's never said that he's a denier. He believes that man does have an effect on climate. He doesn't know what the extent of it is. He doesn't believe that it's what people are claiming. See, you're just a dishonest little fucking sleazebag, dude. Seriously. And I hope you come after me, because I'm going to laugh at you when you're going, oh yeah, look at what he did, and you're bitching on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I'm sure someone will tell me that does what you're doing. But yeah, dude, you're fucking pathetic. I mean, but let's get through the rest of this video.
Irony. Yes, that was Steven Crowder claiming there's been a total dead stop in global warming.
No! He never said that. Climate fucking scientists did. Holy shit, dude. If you actually went to the particular page for this video, he's got his sources cited. But you see, Thundercuck ain't going to give you that. Because he don't want you to go and see that, because he's trying to make it sound like Steven made this claim and Lauren made the claim that the IPCC did. Because he's being dishonest. He's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. He's trying to freaking put his feelings over facts. Because he's upset that Trump isn't a bitch to the globalists, isn't going to fucking put in the United States to this particular agreement. Which, here's the thing. Thunderfoot thinks this is so great. If it was so great, then why did Obama illegally sign us into it? Because if it, you know, it's a treaty. It's just That's what it is. What it is, it falls under the definition of one. So he signed it illegally, not having Congress ratify it. If he had Congress ratify it, Trump wouldn't be able to just pull out like he is. Would he? No. Do you want to know why he didn't put it in front of Congress there, Thunderfoot? Because it wouldn't have passed the muster. And during Obama's term, both of them, the Democrats were running shit, you stupid fuck. That should tell you something. If he couldn't get it past Democrats, that should tell you how bad it stinks. Which, on the note of how bad it stinks, we're talking about something that the first year alone, the United States is putting $100 billion into, and it goes up incrementally as the years go on. And China is putting in $0. The U.S. is putting the majority of the money in, and this money's going into that. And you're saying this isn't about money, but we're going to get back into that when you get into that in this video. But yeah, let's continue on here.
You can see the one he's talking about, right? So he could release this video not only in the hottest year in recorded...
Whoa. So, wait a minute. So you're being dishonest again. Because he's talking about what, like, the IPCC said. The same thing as Lauren. He has the stuff cited on his website. But you don't provide a link to it, do you? So, yeah. But I notice how you like to cherry pick this particular video. Because, yeah. Oh, look at this. Hottest year ever. We've already proven that's kind of bullshit, dude. You know, I mean, because we've got things like, oh, solar activity. And I'm sure if you actually looked at the solar activity in comparison, there's a correlation. Now, let's actually look at this here. Because now that I bring up the solar activity, tiny solar activity affect Earth's climate. Tiny solar activity affect Earth's climate. Wow, I'm having problems with that. But this is from space.com. Alright. And look, even small changes in solar activity can impact Earth's climate in significant and surprisingly complex ways, researchers say. The sun is a constant star when compared with many others in the galaxy. Some stars pulsate dramatically, varying wildly in size and brightness and even exploding. In comparison, the sun varies in the amount of light it emits by only 0.1% over a course of a relatively stable 11-year-long pattern known as the solar cycle. Which goes to the good old Farmer's Almanac. The guy who founded it, one Robert B. Thomas, figured this out to a point where the Nazis, their spies in the United States, were carrying around old farmers' almanacs, and one got caught with them. That's how accurate he was able to predict weather.
Yeah, we don't have any historical record prior to 1880. Because, that's the only time it was recorded. Because I'm Thunderfoot and I know everything.
And yeah, I'm not doing a British accent. I don't really care. I'm just making you sound like a moron.
I'm Thunderfoot. I fucking know everything. Anyone who questions me, they're all morons and haters.
Dude, you're fucking ridiculous. But yeah, let's get back to this. So, still, the light reaching the top of the Earth's atmosphere provides about 2,500 times as much energy as the total of all other sources combined. Solar physicist Greg Kopp at the University of Colorado told Space.com. As such, even 0.1% of the amount of the light the sun emits exceeds all other energy sources the Earth's atmosphere sees combined, such as the radioactivity naturally emitted from the Earth's core, Kopp explained. Also, the amount of energy humans put into it that you talk about later on with the heat. So yeah, but we'll bring that back up when you get there. So basically, but look at this. Sun's role in Earth's climate. Many of the ways the scientists proposed these fluctuations in solar activity could influence Earth were complicated nature. For instance, solar energetic particles and cosmic rays could reduce ozone levels in the stratosphere. That is, in turn, alters the behavior of the atmosphere below it, perhaps even pushing storms on the surface off course. In the lowest stratosphere, the presence of ozone causes a local warming because of the breakup of ozone molecules by ultraviolet light, climate scientist Jerry North at Texas A&M University told Space.com. So, you see, there's a lot of complex things here. And you're trying to dumb this down and make it sound like it's so simple that, yeah, that what is saying is concrete. It isn't.
History, but in the hottest August.
Okay, what's your source for this? Because is it the Cook data from, NOAA? Is it the Cook data from NASA? Is it the IPCC's Cook data? Is it the UN's Cook data that they got from the IPCC, NOAA, and NASA? Because, yeah, this is all rigged. Which, speaking of that, let's go look at this, because you forgot about ClimateGate, didn't you? Okay. Look at all this. This is from the second dump. 250 plus emails that show that there was shady shit going on. Okay? All data between 1930 and 1994, subject to correction. So that Cook in the books. I mean, look at this. I'm going to post a link to all of these. These are all the emails. So, where'd your data come from? Source, please. I'm providing mine, Thundercuck. Which, on the note of Crowder's video, which I love how you're going after Crowder, and you had to cherry pick to do it. And then you misrepresent that he's saying something when he's talking about scientists. And he actually says where his source is from in the video, I believe, too. Besides on the site itself. So you're deceptively editing. Like you did with Sargon. Wow. Dude, you're fucking pathetic. You've become really fucking leftist sleazy. So did you and Anita, like, make up and she got you a pussy hat or what? But this is the video I noticed you avoided, like the bubonic fucking plague. Published on May 1st, okay? Which the one that you're talking about is from a bit back, actually. I don't remember how far. But here is one with Dr. Patrick Moore. Now, let's go a few seconds in here, and I'm going to let Dr. Patrick Moore give you his credentials.
Yeah, I'm remembering it. But he was one of the original members of Greenpeace, PhD in ecology, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Patrick Moore, thank you for being on the show, sir.
Great to be with you, Stephen.
Well, we're always glad to have a dissident on the program. So for people who may not be familiar with you, first off, I want to make sure I'm getting all of this right at the top. You have a PhD in ecology, correct?
That is right. And actually, when I started my PhD in ecology, the word was not yet in the popular press. It was a word that really nobody knew. The word environment had started to come into use, but ecology, which was up until then an obscure branch of the life sciences of biology, only became popularized just around when I got my PhD and afterwards, of course.
Okay, so to be clear, you would be considered a scientist, and would it be considered a science relevant to the environment and climate?
Aha! Would you consider yourself a scientist that discipline is relevant to that? Because if you say you believe you believe that, I'm going to call you full of shit. But yeah, let's go on just a little bit further here.
Well, the reason that ecology is so relevant to the climate issue is it is an interdisciplinary subject. Ecology is about the relationships among all the different factors in the environment, the atmosphere, the ocean, the earth, the sun, the planets, etc. So you can make it as big or small as you want. You can look at the ecology of a microcosm, like a small lake, or you can look at the ecology of the whole earth, or out into the universe.
Sure.
So the issue of people keep talking about climate science. There's no such thing as climate science in the sense that climate science is a whole array of different disciplines interacting. You've got meteorology, you've got atmospheric chemistry, and
exactly. So you've got all these different disciplines, all right? And you are going, oh, climate science, and you're looking at it as one big thing. It's multiple disciplines.
Atmospheric physics, you've got astrophysics and the sun, you've got oceanography, you've got the whole terrestrial biosphere with all the forests and the crops and the soils, and rocks and all the ice on the poles, and all of those things are interacting with each other in ways that we don't understand perfectly, but we're gaining more and more insight into it as time goes on.
Okay, what?
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is when you have a man like this, okay, one of the founders of Greenpeace, who's come out against climate change being a situation where man is the cause and man is evil. And I mean, he's not denying that man has an effect. He just doesn't believe that the effect is as big as these other things. Like, I mean, look at man compared to the sun. Okay? When you go on that scale, man has squat for influence. But you people on the left seem to ignore that. And this is my favorite one coming up here, okay? Because it fits you so well, Thunderfoot.
Well, I just wanted to clarify. You would be more of a scientist in this field than, say, someone with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering.
Or someone say, oh, a PhD in chemistry? Because guess what? He's way more of a fucking expert than you are, and you're talking out your ass like you're one, and you're parroting other people's shit that you don't even really provide any sources to. But, yeah, this is what gets me about you.
In recorded history. Now, there might be people out there saying, hang on, you're being a little unfair to Stephen here. After all, he didn't know at the time that 2016 was going to be the hottest year in recorded human history.
Actually, he had the statement from climate scientists. These were climate scientists that said this. Again, like what Lauren did. So you're being dishonest going, oh, look at what Steven Crowder is saying. Ooh, look at what Lauren is saying. And you know what, dude? You're being dishonest. They're flat out saying it's coming from someone else, and you're misrepresenting that it's coming from them. And you're too stupid to realize that they're saying that it's coming from someone else. And, well, wait a minute, no. You're not too stupid, you're just too arrogant. Because you really are an arrogant fuck. I mean, you took this clip out of context with Crowder, okay? You completely took it out of context. And you clipped one little segment out to show, oh, well, look at what he's saying. He's a denier. He's never said he was a denier. Okay? Lauren has never said she's a denier. They said that they don't necessarily believe that the impact of man on climate is as big as people like you claim. Which, you're not even a fucking expert, dude. Alright? You friggin' dissolved sugar in water. Probably on a fucking government grant, knowing Cornell in the United States. Okay? I would love to find out if that was government money that fucking supported you while you were here, dude. Because then I could see why you would push this fucking shit.
Of course, if it had actually bothered to check, it would have found that 2015 had previously been the hottest year in recorded human history. And
again, wrong. Your source, please. Because I have information here, and I'm putting all my sources in with the link in the description with the links, so that you can actually go and look for yourself. I've got information that says you're full of shit. So what are your sources?
If you hadn't been paying attention to that, it was the hottest January in recorded history. It was the hottest February in recorded history.
Hottest January, hottest February. Dude, source. Because this is complete bullshit. I got ClimateGate saying you're full of fucking shit. Both version 1 and version 2 of ClimateGate. I've got freaking articles here that say you're full of fucking shit.
It was the hottest March in recorded history, the hottest April, the hottest May.
We get it, we get it, we get it, we get it.
August in recorded human history.
By the way, there was a complete and total dead stop to all global warming for over 15 years, and rather than readjust their models, current climate scientists employed by your tax dollars simply chalk it up to being the pause.
Now you may be...
Okay, yeah, again, he's not saying this. The scientists said it themselves. And you're taking all this shit out of fucking context. Because if you gave more of an honest cut of this video, which if you did, you'd look like the fucking moron you're already making yourself look like, And I don't mean moron stupid on the note of, like, your intelligence, because you got a PhD. Okay, moron on what you think other people are going to take fucking hook, line, and sinker. Dude, you seriously are a moron to think that people are going to buy this shit that you're taking completely out of fucking context is how he actually intended it to be. I mean, you're pathetic.
You're thinking, okay, these are just the crazy deniers. You know, all right, they might have award-winning science bloggers or...
Oh, no, it's just the deniers. It's just the deniers. Dude, they're not fucking deniers. Mislabeling, misrepresentation. Wow, you're checking all the fucking leftist boxes. Seriously, dude, I can't wait to see you and Anita fucking marching arm in arm with you with a pussy hat on your head. This is fucking getting ridiculous.
Or they might have 300 million hits, but whatever. You don't get any crazy stuff like that in the Trump administration, where they have competent advisors, right?
Oh, God. Now we're going back to bashing Trump, and we're only 5 minutes in. Let's see. So we went after Trump in the very beginning. We then went after Lauren. We then went after Steven Crowder. And these are all people you got to bug up your ass with. This is the funny thing. Because Steven Crowder is considered part of the skeptic community. Man, oh no. See, this is what gets me. You seriously are calling these people deniers, and they're part of the skeptic community. Wow. Oh, man. Make up your fucking mind. Are they skeptics or deniers? Because if they're members of the skeptic community, they're not denying stuff. They're just skeptical of it.
Well, let's take a look at the current head of the EPA. That's the Environmental Protection Agency. And this is him answering questions from early July 2017 at about the same time that Trump was dumping the Paris Climate Accords. And what I...
Okay, so you're taking a press conference, and the guy that you're calling out is the one that's been proven fake news and got humiliated by Trump. CNN. You're taking a fucking reporter from CNN as your fucking backing. And he asked a fucking bullshit question, okay, that the IPCC said what this guy, what this person in government is about to say, because his name escaped me. But yeah. So we got really fake news bringing up something, and he brings something up in response that the IPCC said. And you're going to say, oh yeah, look at this. Dude, the IPCC and other climate scientists said this was the pause. The skeptic community jumped on it because they went, well, wait a minute, we're doing global warming. What the fuck is this pause? And they've been using this to back their claim. And you're trying to say that, oh yeah, this came from you guys, you stupid fuck. This came from the left. This came from these people pushing the whole man-made climate change because they couldn't cook the books enough. But yeah, let's go on.
Argument does he use?
Why are the hottest temperatures in the last decade essentially the hottest temperatures that we've seen on record?
We've actually been in hiatus since the late 1990s.
But sir,
Yeah, he uses the utterly debunked. There's been a climate change hiatus since 1998 argument.
Whoa. Utterly debunked. No, you're just claiming it's debunked. That's the thing. Because guess what? The people that you're saying that you're using your information from are the ones who fucking made the claim. So are they debunking themselves? Or are you... I mean, dude, you're seriously fucking whacked in the head. Or you got whacked in the head as of late. What? When you found out Trump won, what were you, standing on a toilet, the porcelain was wet, you were hanging a clock, and instead of coming up with a flux capacitor, you came up with this inability to get rid of your weaponized autism, you know, driving your hate on particular people? I mean, this is ridiculous. You keep putting that line there. That's the line they use because it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. It's fucking cyclical. Holy fucking shit, dude.
Hell, this might sound a little tangential, but I've been monitoring my weight of late mostly because I've become increasingly fascinated by human metabolism, and partly because I could do to lose a pound or two.
Oh God. So now, here we go, bringing in something that's completely unrelated, and we're going to make an apples and... This isn't even an apples and oranges fucking comparison. I mean, that is too close of a comparison. You're trying to compare an apple. Hell, we got to come out of the fruit category. You're trying to compare an apple. We'll go past vegetables. Dude, you're trying to compare an apple to a cow. That's the type of comparison you're about to make here. Okay? It's not an apples to orange. It's an apple to cow comparison. And you're trying to do this to fucking misrepresent shit so that you can keep pushing this fucking bullshit that you've been proven by me right here to be full of fucking shit on. But let me, I mean, because, you say it hasn't been busted. But when Lauren says the IPCC, Crowder's saying this, climate scientists are saying this, and he's got the stuff cited, which you don't show, and he even said in the video who it came from, like the source. You've already debunked yourself, but keep hanging yourself.
You may be thinking, whoa, this video just took a sudden turn into left field.
Yes, it did.
Because it turns out that all weight loss was me essentially turning some fat, that would be oil, into carbon dioxide, the same stuff that causes global warming. So yeah.
No, carbon dioxide doesn't cause global warming. It actually causes the plant life to increase and grow more, and it allows for plants to create compounds that they need. Like THC is, for example, the way that hemp and the smokable side of it, marijuana, or cannabis, we'll say, because we don't want the people to get upset, the PC people, it's a natural sunblock. It needs carbon. Where does it get the carbon from? CO2. Oh my God. I love how you use the fact of losing weight to completely slant this shit. And, like, oh man, you're a dishonest, sleazy fuck. And if you had made a relatively reasonable comparison, that's one thing. But this one is not even remotely reasonable.
In some ways, my diet actually contributed to global warming, although maybe not in such a significant fashion, seeing as your total carbon footprint just to be alive for 1 year, just the carbon dioxide that you breathe out, is about 1/3 of a ton per year. Yep, you breathe out about 3 times your own body weight in carbon dioxide per year. And if you factor in...
Okay, and how much do plants take in? Because you can't leave that one out. But we have 300 kilograms. Now watch. Now you're going to make this all scary because you went, oh my God, 300 kilos. Let's look at how bad Westerners are.
In other aspects of first world lifestyles and energy consumptions, you're looking at a total carbon footprint of somewhere between 5 and 20 tons per year. So
5 and 20 tons per year. Okay, if you think we're that detrimental, Thunderfoot, seriously, dude, and you know, I'm not saying go do this. But if you think that things are so detrimental, why don't you go draw a warm bath, okay, get in the tub, and slit your wrists and end it all? Because if you think that you're so damaging to the environment, because, dude, you are toxic. I mean, this fucking video is proof of it. Because you've attacked Trump, you've attacked Crowder, you've attacked Lauren, okay? You've talked down to your people like these people like they're morons. I mean, dude, seriously. You're fucking going off the leftist deep end. Oh, God, I can't wait for the day. I'm seriously predicting you are going to be marching hand in hand with Anita. I'm predicting that.
Oh, yeah. Me turning a couple of kilograms of fat into carbon dioxide is probably not that big of a deal here. Anyway,
okay, but here's the thing, dude. Again, what do plants take in? CO2. All right, what do they put out? O2. Now, look at this from Climate Central by Tim Radford. This is from London. Study finds plant growth surges as CO2 levels rise. So CO2 levels rise, plants take it in, they grow bigger and faster, and they put out more oxygen. Australian scientists have solved one piece of the climate puzzle. They have confirmed the long-debated fertilization effect. Plants build their tissue by using photosynthesis to take carbon from the air around them, So more carbon dioxide should mean more vigorous plant growth, though until now this has been very difficult to improve, unless you're a marijuana grower, because if you are, and you're doing these professional grows, you actually have your room as close to being sealed hermetically as possible, and you pump CO2 in, and people have reproduced over and over with their grows, increased growth with them, and they get bigger yields. So if a pot grower, if a stoned out of their fucking gourd pot grower can fucking reproduce this in, constant, repeatable methods over and over and over again, along with now this scientific proof, I mean, Thundercuck, why are you ignoring that plants take in CO2 and that it's a good thing for them? So, here's the thing. So now you've got them saying that. Well, look at this. Randall Donoghue of the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Organization in Canberra, Australia, and his colleagues developed a mathematical model to predict the extent of carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Between 1982 and 2010, carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere increased by 14%, so their model suggested foliage worldwide should have increased between 5 and 10%. Measuring uncertainties. It is one thing to predict an effect, quite another to prove it. Satellite observations can and successfully do measure seasonal changes in vegetation, the growth of deserts, the change from open prairie to savanna, the growth of new trees and tundra, and so on. But it is very difficult to be sure that these changes have anything to do with carbon dioxide fertilization. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns could also have an impact. Also, some regions, tropical rainforests for example, are already completely covered by forest canopy. Orbiting satellites are unlikely to measure much change there. So, look at this. They've proven this. And they're able to get an idea and say, yeah, which they just came out recently and said that we've got more green on the planet, and, you know, they proved that, and then we've got 10 or 15% more forest than we originally thought. So, yeah. I mean, this is a factor. But, alright, let's skip a little bit further down here. So, actually, hold on. Okay, look, alright, so they looked at these regions where leaf cover really would stand out and where carbon dioxide fertilization would be the best explanation for new growth. So they basically looked at particular areas that it would be apparent. So these were warm, dry places, while the researchers focused on changes in arid regions in North America's southwest, Australia's outback, and the Middle East and parts of Africa. They also had to find a technique that allowed for natural, seasonal, and cyclical changes. Holy fucking shit. You idiots ignore cyclical changes. But they're not here. Alterations in land use and so on. They calculated in these conditions, plants would make more leaves if they had the water to do so. A leaf can extract more carbon from the air during photosynthesis or lose less water to the air during photosynthesis, or both, due to the elevated CO2. So what they're saying is that plants need CO2. And we're at 400 parts per million, which I believe you bring up. And plants and animals were thriving when it was 4,000 parts per million. What do you got to say to that, Thundercuck? Explain that one away. I'd love for you to.
The reason I bring my diet up here is how many of you would seriously say, yeah, well, your diet stopped working about a week ago, so you should quit. Exactly.
Your diet stopped working a week ago.
Dude, this is a fucking analogy you're making that's a fucking absolute straw man argument. Absolute fucking straw man argument. You know it, too. But you needed a way to fucking back what you were saying, so you pulled this out of your ass. And let me tell you, it stinks like it has been pulled out of your ass. It really does, dude.
You know that there is an underlying mechanism here. You know there is a mass balance. That if I put more mass into my body than I excrete, and the lion's share that I excrete, of course, is coming out of my mouth as carbon dioxide and water in the form of humidity. If I put more into my body than I excrete out of it, then I gain weight. It's that simple. And if I excrete more than I consume, then you lose weight. And it's the same.
Speaking of excreting more, dude, you know, all you've been doing is just fucking spewing shit and hate and fucking jealousy and shit. I mean, your last thing with Sargon, that was all jealousy, dude. You're upset that he's gone past you. Alright? Seriously, this is all personal fucking shit for you. You are a fucking child.
Balance with the Earth's atmosphere. If you put more energy into it, then you radiate away into space, then the planet heats up. And if you radiate more energy, then you absorb, then you cool down. And we can measure the increase in the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere from human activity, and it's raised it from about 300 to 400 parts per million.
Yeah, so we've gone up from 1958, 300 to 400 parts per million. Okay. That's not much, considering at 200 parts per million, plant growth slows down dramatically. So we've gone up 100 parts per million, and there was 100 parts per million between stunting plant growth and where we were. The Earth has had much higher, throughout history, has had much higher CO2 levels. And plants and animals had no problem surviving. Plants actually thrived. I just proved that. When the higher CO2 levels are there and plants are thriving, yeah. So, I'm calling fucking fear-mongering on this one.
And you get a reasonable estimate of how much that has increased the amount of energy that the Earth is getting from the sun. And
oh, God. Oh, the increased amount of energy that... The sun, we already went through this. So, you're acting like the sun doesn't fluctuate in its output, and it's all man causing this to get the more sun's energy. Holy fucking shit, dude. You are a sleazy fucking... Oh, dude. This is the sleaziest fucking thing I've seen you do to date. Let's ignore the fact that the sun's actual energy patterns change because it goes through an 11-year cycle. And we're going to blame man for that retention of increase in solar energy. Dude, that is some fucked up shit.
Remember, if you get more energy than you radiate, then you heat up. It's inevitable. After that, the only thing left to debate is where the extra energy ends up. Melting ice caps...
No. Because there's plenty up to debate right now. Because you're ignoring, like I just said, the sun having a pattern of 11 years. It goes from one end of activity to another for itself. You know, less active, more active. There's plenty up for debate. So quit making your leftist style argument. Oh, the only thing to debate is this. No, there's more to debate. You're just trying to pigeonhole, like the left likes to do, anyone who's trying to debate you.
Melting glaciers, hotter oceans, hotter atmospheres, whatever. In simple terms, denying global warming is like eating a 1 kilogram super bacon cheeseburger and looking someone straight in the face and telling them that you're exactly the same weight as you were before you ate it. Denial...
Well, okay. We're not deniers. We're skeptics. And we have things to back us on why we should be skeptical. We haven't drank the Kool-Aid like you, okay? I mean, seriously, if Jonestown was around today, you would probably be in line for the punch bowl. Like, I'm not kidding on that one. If you buy into this shit like you are, and you're going, well, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck you, I'm a smug fuck, and I'm always right, like you are here. That's the case. Because you're not open to look at other data that contradicts what's being pushed as an agenda. I mean, that's pathetic. That really is.
Is denial, guys. However, sadly, the arguments from global warming deniers aren't logical. They're emotional. They're
Oh, whoa. Our arguments are logical. When we're taking from you fucking people that believe this shit, from the scientists that are pushing this shit, that, oh, well, this particular time period, there wasn't much fluctuation on the mean. Well, yeah, that was the pause, and yeah, and then we quote them on that, and then you fucking say, oh, well, look what so-and-so said, and look at what so-and-so said, and they're quoting what the IPCC said? Dude, that's feelings over fact, okay? And I love how you chose this particular main cartoon, however you want to put it, because guess what? This all has facts hanging on it, okay? Global warming research scandal, ClimateGate, version 1 and version 2, the dumps, which I'm going to put a link that has both 1 and 2, like the emails, complete. Plus it has 250 that have been picked out of it that show that there was cooking the books going on and other shady, shifty things. Antarctic record ice growth, another fact. So, you're saying feelings over fact. Okay, so far, 2 of those Christmas balls, we'll say, because that's what they look like on that tree, are factual. Can easily be backed up. Satellite data shows no warming. Okay, I actually brought up an article with that. Was it this one? No, this is the one, no. But I have an article. I believe I got it here. If not, I will put the link in. But the satellite data actually shows there is no warming. Okay? When you look at the mean, there is no real warming over that 18-year period. But see, you're not looking at the mean. So you're being dishonest. You're pushing feelings over fact. And, I mean, it's kind of pathetic here. Okay? It really is. It's so fucking pathetic.
Trying to get you. They're trying to manipulate you. It's all the scientists trying to get rich to save their jobs or something. I just never trust a scientist.
Okay. Never trust a scientist. Well, we shouldn't be trusting you because you're being dishonest here. You're lying. Okay. Oh, well, it's not about money and all that. Okay. Right here. The well-funded climate business. Follow the money. Michael Mann said this on October 5th. Our efforts to communicate the science are opposed by well-funded, highly organized disinformation effort that aims to confuse the public about the nature of our scientific understanding. Scientists are massively outfunded and outmanned in this battle and will lose if leading scientific institutions and organizations remain on the sidelines. I will discuss this dilemma, drawing upon my own experiences in public arena of climate change. Now, look at this. After saying that, this is a guy that's involved in climate science saying this, okay? This right here goes to show how delusional that is. This is how much money. Okay, and this is all U.S. money being spent around the world on climate research. We are the ones funding almost all of it. Okay? This is foreign. This is what the foreigners are fucking kicking in comparison. And you want to get on us for getting out of a shit fucking deal when we're already funding almost everything? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, 3,000 million. Dude, that's a lot of fucking money. Okay, this right here is the climate science. Okay, those are the teachers and the professors and all that. Okay, so, I mean, come on now. We're talking $10 billion to $15 billion going in the pockets of scientists and teachers and professors and all that shit, dude. Going into stupid fucking research programs. Kind of, you know, on the note of climate. Kind of like your stupid fucking research program to dissolve sugar in water. But dissolving sugar in water for a living, that makes you a fucking expert on climate now. Alright. $70 billion on climate since 2008. They estimate that since 2008, the federal government has spent nearly $70 billion. Dude, we're paying $100 billion the first year in the Paris fucking Accord. Where's that money going? To pay for fucking people like you who can't make it in the real fucking world. Dude, with a fucking PhD in chemistry, you could be working for Dow, Corning, fucking pharmaceutical companies. All this fucking shit, dude. Making bank. Alright. Being a person who does. But instead, you're fucking living off the government tit. Which is why you're pushing this fucking shit. Because it's all about employing your fellow fucking scientists who couldn't make it in the real fucking world. You seriously are a fucking sleazeball who's got no fucking clue. Okay? I mean, oh, it's been settled and all this other shit. Dude, you should know about this university in UK that got fucking popped for fixing the books. The University of East Anglia? I mean, come on now.
I mean, they get paid for doing science. I mean, what did science ever do for us? And who is the...
See, you gotta get paid for doing science because you couldn't go and do it privately. Oh.
Idiot in charge of making the decisions now?
Oh, God. So the idiot in charge. So now the Trump hate's coming back out again.
Not only rubbishes climate change.
I think that there'll be little change here. It'll go up. It'll get a little cooler. It'll get a little warmer like it always has for millions of years. It'll get cooler. It'll get warmer. It's called weather.
But the idea...
Yeah, he's right. See, this is the thing. You call him an idiot. You make these accusations, but you don't refute what he said. You just go, look at this chart. This is what it is. And I'm right. And everyone else is wrong. And yeah. And you're fucking throwing a fucking feelings over fact fucking temper tantrum. Oh, I'm going to attack Trump because I don't like him. I mean, dude, you're being a fucking child. Grow up.
The chlorofluorocarbons destroy the ozone layer.
Okay, so now we get into the CFC shit. And you're going to use this to attack Trump. And this just goes to show how fucking sleazy and disingenuous you are because you don't bring certain facts to your fucking audience in this video. And let me bring them in as we get into it.
So if I take hairspray, and if I spray it in my apartment, which is all sealed, and you're telling me that affects the ozone layer? Yes.
Well, he's talking about propellants. He's not talking about CFC. He didn't specifically say CFC. They've been using other propellants in aerosol cans for quite some time, you know, now. Which we're going to get into, as I said.
I say, no way, folks, no way, okay? No.
I'd like to tell you a story. So if you're sitting comfortably, then I'll begin. There once was a class...
Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. You notice your tonality changes because now you're going to... You're trying to lead your viewer from point A to point Z, okay, and circumnavigate around without hitting B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Because the thing is he's not talking about CFCs. If he was talking about CFCs, it would be because he'd be misinformed because he's 70 years old and the people that he knows around him are around his approximate age and they would think that they're still CFCs. But the thing is, let's go on.
Of compounds called chlorofluorocarbons. And they were great because you could custom make them to have the right boiling point, which turned out to be really useful for loads of stuff. They were non-toxic and non-flammable, which meant you could use them in things like hairspray.
Okay. So this is why you chose this, because you wanted to attack the man on his hair. And try to make him look like a moron in the process for something by misrepresenting it. Gotcha. By the way, that's a typical leftist attack. I mean, you're going after him for his fucking hair. Instead of on actual fucking merit. Okay? Misrepresentation to attack his hair. Good job, Thundercuck.
This was much better than things like butane, which, while they were okay as propellants, were kind of flammable. However, years later, geeky scientists started to notice that the ozone layer was depleting in polar regions.
Yes, they did notice that. I remember, I was alive. Unlike the audience that you're targeting with this, the millennials, see, this is why you're talking the way you are and you're using the tone that you are. It's because you're trying, like I said, to lead them from point A to point Z without letting them see B, C, D, E, and so on.
This was very concerning because ozone acts like a shield, protecting us from the harmful UV rays of the sun. And without it, tens of thousands of people would die annually from skin cancer.
Yeah, okay. And here you are talking to your viewers like they're stupid. You really think the people that fucking watch your videos are morons? If you'll fucking talk to them like this, that is clear. Okay? I don't understand how you haven't lost a shit ton of subscribers when you talk to your subscribers like that. I really don't get it.
And a little more research from those evil scientists who were only interested in getting money from the government revealed that the CFCs, after their...
Ooh, because, we gotta, like, straw man and slant things and distract people, so we're going to make this bullshit argument. And that's what you're doing. Because climate research and this are two totally different things, because everything about climate research is critical theory. Okay, you're a fucking scientist, dude. You know that science is supposed to be Socratic method, and it's critical theory. IPCC mandate, the UNFCCC, whatever the one that you used the chart from the beginning. Okay, NASA's mission for studying climate change, NOAA. It all says prove man-made climate change exists. IPCC literally cannot exist without the proof of man-made climate change. So it's got a fucking horse in the race, okay? I'm proving it, because it doesn't exist otherwise. And there's a lot of bureaucrats that want to keep their fucking jobs there, and scientists like you who couldn't cut it in the real fucking world. This was different. But you see, you don't expect your audience to be alive when that happened.
Their release would eventually, after years, make their way up to the upper atmosphere, where the chlorofluorocarbons would catalytically destroy the ozone. This meant that a single molecule of CFC could destroy hundreds of thousands of molecules of ozone before being rendered inert by some form of radical combination reaction. Now, if left unchecked, the entire ozone layer would have been depleted in less than 100 years.
Yeah, and if you look, because it was NASA that was the ones who really pointed this out, okay, and it was American companies that were putting out the chemicals, it was the United States that changed the whole fucking situation globally, and I love how you leave that out.
We and all other forms of life on Earth would have almost no protection from the cancer-causing hard UV rays of the sun. This was clearly bad. And with the source of the problem identified and the effects clearly documented, evil scientists who were getting paid to do science convinced evil globalist governments to
Oh, no. Wow, dude. Oh, wow. Holy fucking shit. Rewrite history much. No. Okay, it was the United States, okay? The federal government banned the manufacture of CFCs by those companies like Dow and Corning, not specifically them, but they banned their production in the United States. They were made predominantly in the United States. That made the ban go across, the ban work almost globally. Okay, and the United States paved the fucking way. It wasn't, oh no, these scientists went to globalist governments. You're a misrepresentative, fucking sleazy, scummy fuck. Okay, because, oh no, I'm anti-American, I'm anti-Trump, I hate the United States, I'm a fucking Brit. Dude, you're gonna lie about this shit? Why don't you fucking admit the truth? It was the U.S. that fucking paved the way for this. Okay? Because, oh wait, that would mean that the country actually listened to actual science, and that might mean when the president goes, that there might be some issue with the whole Paris Accord? Wow, you are a fucking scumbag.
Destroy the chlorofluorocarbon manufacturing industry of America by globally banning CFCs in things like hairspray. And then they went back to using things like butane as a blowing agent. You know, because...
Right, which is what he gets into.
It's only a blowing agent. So, sarcasm aside, this was one of the great success stories of science, maybe on a par with things like eradicating smallpox. And decades...
Whoa, like eradicating smallpox. You do realize that the biggest contributor to eradication of diseases like smallpox and cholera, plague, was the fact of proper sanitation, right? I mean, that's a historical fact. That's been proven. It wasn't science that fucking caused their demise in large part. It was fucking clean sanitation. Being dishonest here. You are being dishonest.
Later, thousands cheered a moron who summarized this problem like this.
Thousands cheered a moron. No, wow.
Because, you know, the United States, hairspray doesn't work. You know why? Because we're destroying the ozone every time we spray. They say, if I'm in my bathroom in Trump Tower, sealed with concrete, right? 8-inch concrete floors, 8-inch concrete walls.
But I hear where they don't want me to use hairspray. They want me to use the pump. Because the other one, which I really like better, they're going bing, bing, bing.
I spray my hair. Zip.
Right, which they have no CFCs in them, and he never said CFC. This is what's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Zip. They tell me I'm destroying the ozone. It's 400 miles up. So they went out and got me some frickin' Australian hairspray, and I'll tell you, it was great. I held my hair.
So if I take hairspray, and if I spray it in my apartment, which is all sealed, and you're telling me that affects the ozone layer?
Yeah, because he's had people tell him that his hairspray, which has got like butane in it, is doing that. So he's calling them out on it, and you're misrepresenting him doing that by thinking, oh, CFCs. Dude, you're a fucking scumbag. You're taking shit out of context and then misrepresenting it. You're a fucking scumbag, dude. You are... Oh, wow. You seriously should have like a 20,000 to 30,000 subscriber drop with like the shit that I've been calling out here. If people knew it, you would have that. Okay? You would.
Yes, I say no way, folks, no way, okay? No.
That moron was later elected the leader of a country who went on to pull...
Oh, and you're the moron that's been misrepresenting all this shit in this video. So what the fuck is your point? He's not a moron. He obviously was smart enough to win. Sounds like you're bitter. Oh, wow. I'm not a salty person. No. Oh, fuck you, you aren't.
America out of the Paris Climate Accords.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
Now, it should be said that the Paris Climate Accords are more aspirational than operational. They were completely non-binding. So,
right, and the U.S. was paying $100 billion the first year, and it was going up. And I'm sure if you compared the UK, you guys ain't paying shit. And China wasn't paying a dime. So, your point? Okay, so this is non-binding, and you're saying, well, this is... You're all pissed, and your panties are in a bunch because this is something non-binding that we know China is not going to follow, even though they signed it. Yeah, okay.
Pulling out of them because you want to renegotiate them is kind of dumb.
Well, no it isn't. Because why should we be footing the bill for fucking waste-of-space scientists like you to live off the government dime and lie? Why should we? Because we're the ones footing the majority of the bill. Us Americans. Not you Brits. Not you any other European. Explain that one. See, you didn't, because you're not gonna display, you know, like all your cards, and say, look, this is what I got. You're gonna fucking bluff and bluff and bluff and bluff, okay? Trying to raise the stakes. I'm calling you out.
But begin negotiations to re-enter either the Paris Accord or in really entirely new transaction. I was elected to represent the citizens of Pittsburgh, not Paris.
What do we care? We live in the United...
Yeah. So you go and resort to pulling up this clip from Futurama.
United States.
The United States is part of the world.
Wow, I have been gone a long time.
So we're getting out.
His obligation is to Americans, not the rest of the fucking planet. He wasn't elected president of the world. Okay? The deal was bad for Americans, so we're supposed to just bend over and get fucking porked by Europeans without any fucking Vaseline? No, dude. This isn't fucking European. This isn't fucking German fucking porn, okay? Alright? Where, like, the American tourist gets anally raped. Holy fucking shit.
But we will start to negotiate, and we will see if we can make a deal that's fair. And if we can, that's great. And if we can't, that's fine.
The goals were essentially aspirational, signed by every country on Earth, with the exception of Nicaragua and Syria. And they wanted to limit global warming to less than 2 degrees. At about 2 degrees, it's really not known what will happen to the Earth afterwards, but the reckoning is...
At 2 degrees? Well, let's see. There'd be more rain, which means more arid land would become lush, which would mean that we would have more growable land, which would mean that we would have an increase in foliage, which would mean we would be able to have an increase in producing food in order to take care of the population, which we've already got a bunch of land that isn't even being used because farmers are being paid not to grow on it, but yeah.
About 2 degrees. Cutting carbon dioxide after that probably won't help because other positive feedback mechanisms will give climate change a momentum of its own.
Oh God, the other factors are now coming in. Dude, humans do not have a bigger impact than those other factors, like the sun.
It's kind of like a tipping point, after which there's no going back to the way things were. Hey, I guess we should vote for him because he's not a feminist. Or I feel like I trust Trump. He's the guy I most relate to.
We met Trump.
Oh God. Look at you. You're upset that he won. Your girl Hillary didn't. So now, instead of, we go off the whole climate thing and we go into the personal attack of Trump. Yeah, we get it.
The campaign event. Meeting him. That made a huge difference. Yeah, made a huge difference. Just because it's somebody who, we really felt like one of us. I had that feeling.
And we've got to keep our priorities straight. Honestly, folks, the reality of the world...
Oh, you're talking about priorities. So you're attacking Trump as your priority, you're attacking Lauren as your priority, and you're attacking Crowder as your priority in this video. I mean, you've made that clear. Because you've done leftist talking points when it comes to climate, and all you've done is personal attacks when it comes to them. Because that's what you've done.
Is you got to choose your allies and your fights. And I watch with some dismay as those who turn...
Oh, God. So now here we go. Yes, you're still trying to distance yourself. We get it. We've got Bering and Sargon and Black Pigeon Speaks and T and Kraut and Cullen and Jeff Holiday and Lauren. We get it, dude. Oh, and is that Roaming Millennial, maybe? I mean, dude, we get it. You're fucking trying to distance yourself, but you're going completely leftist anyway, so you're distancing yourself that way.
Frenzy on moronic, entitled, stuck-up social justice warriors. And hell, you see my history. I despise social justice warriors as much as the next man. But this community...
If you despise them so much, why are you becoming one? Aha! Because you have become one. I mean, Brexit, you went all SJW. Trump winning, SJW. Your attack of Lauren Southern for labeling Antifa, who were there protesting Trump, as anti-Trump protesters, okay? You attacked her for that, okay? I mean, come on now. You went after freaking Sargon recently. You're going fucking SJW.
Oh, but I hate SJWs.
Well, you've become what you hate.
Essentially turned that into cheerleading for Trump. I mean, really, how many...
No, they didn't turn it into cheerleading for Trump, okay? How is pointing out what he's going to say, he's pointing out saying what he's going to do, and then when he does do it, bring up that he did do it. That's not cheerleading for him. For him, that's pointing out what he's doing. That's what saying what it's pointing out what he's going to do. You are a dishonest fuck. So instead of them going and fucking attacking Trump, like the legacy media did, like the leftist alternative media did, like the liberal alternative media did, like you did, okay? Because they didn't do that, okay? You're claiming that they basically had their heads up Trump's ass. That's fucking sleazy for you to do that, dude. That's completely misrepresenting the situation. Because, well, especially with Bering, because Bering really didn't say much on the note of, like, the president. But you're bringing him into this. Yeah, Sargon did. Yeah, Lauren did. Okay? And they called out Hillary for the reasons why. Okay? But you never addressed those actual facts like, oh, her improper handling of classified information, the slush fund known as the Clinton Foundation, her corruption going back to her and her husband making illegal deals with China when he was president. I mean, come on now. Dude, you... Seriously, because of things like that, they didn't want to. They called out Hillary for what she was. You're making them cheerleaders. You're claiming they were cheerleaders for Trump. That's fucking, dude. That's delusional. Did you seriously get dropped on your head as a baby? Are you autistic? Because you're fixated on this fucking shit, and between getting dropped on your head and being an autistic, it would explain a lot.
In the skeptical community openly opposed crap like this.
Well, I'm not a big believer in man-made climate change. There could be some impact, but I don't believe it's a devastating impact.
So wait a minute. You called him a denier earlier in the video. He's not being... He did not say that he denies that there's man-made climate change. He believes that it's not as big of an impact as people claim it is. So you can't call him a fucking denier, dude.
No, I would say that it goes up, it goes down. I think it's very much like this over the years. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens. I believe it was in the 1920s they talked about the phenomena of global cooling. They thought the planet was getting cooler. Now they think the planet is getting warmer.
And yeah, he's citing historical, factual information. I notice how you leave that out and you're like, oh, listen to the delusional rantings of Trump. He's stating historical fact that anyone can go out and fucking research for themselves. And it's clear you didn't.
And I have a feeling it's sort of this. But Nobody knows for sure. You know, they used to call it global warming. They've had many different, they call it extreme weather. They always change the name to encapsulate everything.
I think that there'll be little change here. It'll go up, it'll get a little cooler, it'll get a little warmer like it always has for millions of years. I don't believe that what they say, I think it's a big scam for a lot of people to make a lot of money.
Yeah, there weren't many of us, and they rejoiced when Trump was elected leader.
Yeah, because your candidate was a fucking psychopath who wanted war with Russia. Oh my God. You ignore that reason. Oh yeah, look at dude, you're a fucking moron. You're talking out your ass right now, and you're making claims about the fucking people that, you know, you're going, oh, the skeptic crowd. Okay? You're making accusations and assumptions about them with no basis in fact. And you are leaving out facts. Oh, excuse me. By the way, too. Like the fact that your candidate was a fucking criminal scumbag murderous bitch who got known for something called the Clinton double tap. Okay, go look up what Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton had following them throughout their careers. Okay, of people literally getting double taps to the chest, to the head. Okay, like 2 to the heart, 2 to the head, and having Bill's fucking buddy fucking friend, who's the coroner, fucking rule them suicides. But you got a problem with this candidate, but you don't have a problem with that one. That goes to show how fucked in the head you are.
People like me saying that I was just salty that Trump won. I lost.
You are salty. Dude, most of this fucking video is a personal fucking attack on Trump. And you threw Lauren and Crowder in for good measure.
Over 10,000 subscribers. I mean, it wasn't like...
Yeah, you lost 10,000 subscribers for a good reason, because you were in the fucking wrong, and these people saw it.
Got a reputation for fighting scientifically illiterate morons on YouTube for over...
Scientifically illiterate moron. Huh, kind of like you're being in this video, because you're not presenting any actual science. You're saying this is how it is and this is how it's going to be. And I've got actual sources here, and I've got them all opened up in my tabs, and I'm going to provide them in my video's description.
Over 10 years or anything. And the constant jibes about Thunderfoot should stick to science. Yeah, stick to science and leave politics to the experts like this.
Now I have to tell you.
Oh God. So now we've got personal attacks here. Okay? Dude, we get it. You don't like Trump.
It's an unbelievably complex subject. Nobody knew that healthcare could be so complicated.
You know, healthcare is complicated because our healthcare system is so complex. I suffer no illusions that this will be an easy process. Once again, it will be hard. Healthcare is complicated stuff.
Nobody knew that healthcare could be so complicated.
I mean, what? Did you really think that I would side with a vaccine denialist, climate change denialist, simply because he gave the finger to the social justice warrior?
Oh my God! So yeah, you're going to ignore the murderous past of the Clintons. Okay, you're going to ignore the illegal meeting between Lynch and Bill Clinton. Dude, you're bad. You're fucking pathetic.
Yeah, and I remember losing thousands of subscribers at the time. But you know what? As time goes on, this looks more like a badge of honor than a mark of shame.
No, you got that the wrong way around. It's a badge of shame.
Well, where are those petty little gloaters now?
You are a petty little bitch who's been whining the whole fucking time, okay? And drags shit out. Dude, you are like, you know what? You're becoming like Steve fucking Shives. Seriously, okay? It's gonna end up being you, Steve Shives, and Anita Sarkeesian. She'll have you each on an arm, both wearing pussy hats. This is what I'm fucking seeing in the future, okay? Seriously, with the rate you're going, that's what's going to happen.
A man with almost no understanding of the problems he's dealing with, making decisions.
Says a man who has no understanding of what he's talking about, being a fucking chemistry professor, okay? You know, a doctor of chemistry who's acting like they're a fucking expert in everything.
That will impact the world. And yeah.
Okay, that'll impact the world. You mean the whole climate thing that the U.S. has been funding and getting on that money thing real quick here? You ever hear of the Chicago Climate Exchange founded by Al Gore and Maurice Strong, poised to make billions in carbon offset credits? It was also technically founded by Obama. He was their legal person, and he did all the paperwork and got the company legally, the Chicago Carbon Exchange, I should say, legally registered and everything else, and took care of all of the legal work for it in its inception. They all have a stake in it. Well, Maury Strong did till he died. Okay? I'm sure someone in his family has it. But they were looking at the fact of making billions upon billions of dollars in carbon offset credits. And the three biggest people pushing man-made climate change, who are they been? Maury Strong, Al Gore, and Obama. Do the fucking math. Because you should be able to. I mean, you had to have fucking been able to do some math in order to get your, a degree in chemistry.
Yeah, impact the world is about right. Because even though the Paris Climate Accords is probably too little, too late.
It's fucking a joke, dude. 4,000 parts per million. Plants and animals were fucking thriving on this planet.
More than a statement of intent. At least it was a step in the right direction.
No, it wasn't. It was a way to. It was a way to fucking rape the U.S. of its wealth, and fund fucking retard scientists like you who can't cut it in the real world.
That world stood in unity, with the exception of Syria and Nicaragua. On pretty broad goals like limiting climate change to less than 2 degrees. Having the world's second largest excreter of carbon dioxide saying it's going to take its ball and go home looks more like an effort to.
So, because we got a fucking shit deal, we're taking our ball and going home because we're not going to sit there and get fucked by the globalists and fund this shit, the majority of it? Fuck you.
Undermine the only sensible attempt to try and get some sort of global consensus on trying to...
Sensible attempt and global consensus? Wait a minute! This is fucking science! You're a fucking scientist! There is no fucking consensus in science! It's either it's repeatable or it isn't repeatable! Dude, you just showed how fucking leftist you're really going when you're going consensus and you fucking go, it's either is or it isn't. And you fucking have gone after that consensus fucking bullshit in other areas. With your attack on feminism and shit like that. So, dude, you're a fucking hypocrite. Shut the fuck up.
Do something about climate change. Hell, maybe no one should tell Trump about the Montreal Protocols. Else, he might want to pull out of that too.
Oh, God, we're going to do the CFC fucking shit again. We're going to get back in that when he was never talking CFCs. He never said CFCs, and you're going to misrepresent him thinking it was CFCs when the U.S. in the 80s fucking basically stopped the production of CFCs in this country and almost wiped it out globally with just doing that, but then other countries followed us, and we got rid of it globally. We were the ones who led the way on that. Wasn't the UK. Dude, you guys didn't even have fucking catalytic converters on your car. Okay, until what? Fucking a decade ago or so? I mean, come on now. We've had them on our car since the fucking 1970s. So shut the fuck up. We've done more for the fucking environment than you stupid fucking Brits have. Okay, you're fucking paying lip service, so shut the fuck up.
No, fight those evil climate scientists with their preposterous ideas that CFCs can deplete the ozone layer.
So if I take hairspray and if I spray it in my apartment,
you're gonna keep beating this, so let's just move on.
Sealed, and you're telling me that affects the ozone layer? Yes. I say no way, folks. No way. Okay. No.
All those lying scientists who calculated that if we hadn't banned CFCs...
Dude, you're making an apple to cow fucking comparison here, okay? They have scientific fact to back them up. The other ones have cookbook science that's been proven. ClimateGate. Yeah, you ignore ClimateGate because that destroys your whole fucking video here. It really does. I mean, the IPCC saying that there was a fucking leveling and no real change, which Lauren brought up and Crowder brought up, fucking busts your own video. And you're trying to misrepresent that they said it because, then it's got no credibility. Because, heaven forbid the IPCC, a quote-unquote credible organization in climate change, said it.
Merely in the US alone, you would have an additional 40 million cases of skin cancer, resulting in some million extra deaths.
Oh, God, virtue signaling, bringing in skin cancer. Oh, no, look, if Trump was around then, and this would happen, and maybe he, he should repeal this, and then you go and you do this stupid childish thing coming up.
Hey, Trump understands these issues. He knows that if he sprays something on his head in his apartment, then there's no way that the gases that he sprayed in there can possibly get out.
They say if I'm in my bathroom in Trump Tower, sealed with concrete.
We get it. How much is this? Is the fucking continuation of this footage? We'll go there.
bathroom was hermetically sealed, then of course he would have been...
He never said his bathroom's hermetically sealed, and you're fucking making an assumption that he said he was talking about CFCs when he wasn't, because CFCs have been banned in the United States for a very long time, and they still had aerosol hairspray. It was just using, like you said, like butane. I mean, dude, you're fucking pathetic. You failed in this one.
Have been right, but it would have also meant that the carbon dioxide that he was breathing out would have just built up in his bathroom till it reached about 5%, at which point Trump would have passed out and died from carbon dioxide poisoning. In fact, it would be very interesting to know if Trump really thinks that no gas has come in or out of his apartment, to know why he thinks that he hasn't suffocated or died of carbon dioxide poisoning yet.
You know, just doing this to try to make him look fucking stupid makes you look stupid. Like, not intelligence, like wise, like where you know. I'm talking on how you look at and treat and talk to your fucking subscribers and anyone else you expect to be watching this video. It goes to show, dude, that you really think that people that watch your videos are stupid fucks. Seriously, this goes to show that.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Because I'm sure you're going to be like, no, it doesn't.
In fact, whatever. Hell, let's do this. Let's see how far the stupidity goes. Good stuff.
Okay, stupidity. This is the stupidity of Thunderfoot, not Trump. Because look at these fucking tweets that he's posting. Alright, this goes to show when he's done an apples to cow comparison with, you know, CFCs to fucking climate change, when there's a dispute with climate change. They're talking about consensus and there is no consensus in science, and he's using critical theory with it, and he should know that that's critical theory as opposed to Socratic method. But watch this. This is the fucking stupidity of Thunderfoot. He thinks this is funny and he thinks he's being a fucking smartass when he's just being an immature little fucking child.
Trump on pulling out of Paris Climate Accords. Montreal Protocol next. Make America great again. Montreal Protocols single-handedly destroyed the entire US CFC industry. Donald Trump should pull out now. Defend US interests. Make America great again. Yeah, get on Twitter and retweet those, because I've just got to see how far does the stupidity go.
Well, if your subscribers watch this video and take it hook, line, and sinker, it goes pretty far when it comes to those people.
Hey, I guess all those You're Just Salty Trump won folks can rejoice.
You are just salty that Trump won. Dude, this whole video is a fucking personal fucking attack against Trump for a good majority of it. I shouldn't say, well, good majority of it would be the more accurate thing. Because, not the whole, but throughout this whole video, you attack him. And a good majority of it is you doing that. You've presented more virtue signaling and attack, like on the note of, with how Trump fucking, well, not even virtue signaling, but how upset Trump gets you. You've shown that more in this video than actual scientific fucking fact. Okay, Trump hurts my feelings. That's what you've done. Okay, look at this. I'm going to misrepresent Trump because he hurts my feelings, and I'm going to pull out this whole CFC thing, and I'm going to play it like he's talking about that. I mean, dude, you're a fucking moron. If you honestly think people are going to take that shit and just fucking believe it at face value.
That 2016 was the hottest year on record.
Wrong. We've already proven that's wrong. I've got sources that I'm posting that show that you're full of shit and show that they're full of shit. So, yeah. Fuck off on that one.
While simultaneously having the head of the EPA who thinks that there's been no global warming since 1990.
He never said that. No, the mean has stayed the same. There's been no real change. The IPCC said that. He's referring to the IPCC saying that. So instead of attacking him, go after the IPCC. Go after the people who fucking said it.
And you know what, folks? It's the current year. It's the hottest year on record. It's something that you're going to be hearing a lot of in the coming decades. I mean, just for the record. 1998 was the hot...
Yeah, we're going to hear that for coming decades because they're going to keep saying it while they're rigging shit.
Hottest year on record. Then 2005 was the hottest year on record. Then 2010, then 2014, then 2015, and now 2016 was the hottest year on record. Or if you want to do it by decades, the 80s was the hottest decade on record. Then the 90s was the hottest decade.
Oh, so wait a minute. Now you're going to run lines through and say that matters. Dude. So when the line's being run through to show what the IPCC is talking about, oh, don't look at that, ignore that, that has no, that's complete bullshit. But when you're trying to prove your point, you can run a line fucking through it and say, see, dude, you're a fucking sleazeball when you're when you do this shit right in front of the people who've watched this video to this point, okay? And you just earlier in it fucking said, no, you can't do that. That's bullshit. Nope, that line can't be there. Dude, that goes to show how fucking sleazy you are. That you will fucking pull a double standard like that. Well, to prove my point, I'll do this. But them to prove their point, when it's coming from the IPCC, I'm going to say it came from Lauren, and it came from Stephen, and it came directly from Trump, and it came from this person and that person, and then I'm going to say, well, they can't use that line. Dude, you're fucking ridiculous.
Decade on record. Then the noughties were the hottest decade on record, and now the teens is thus far the hottest decade on record. And I ask you, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and most importantly, share it, because thus far this has been the second hottest year on record, and this problem will not stop in the lifetime of anyone watching this video. And there are still folks at the highest level of government pretending that there's nothing to be concerned about, because there's been no global warming since the late 90s.
Dude, seriously, you talk like a fucking expert, and you're a fucking chemist who dissolved sugar in water. Okay, that's from your own fucking Wikipedia page. Alright? Seriously, if there was any government fucking funding involved in you doing that when you were here in the United States, we should fucking seriously ask for the money back. You owe us for that one, dude. That's a free fucking ride. Okay? Dude, when you dissolve sugar in water for a living, you should just shut the fuck up about climate, because you're a scientist that did that. Okay? I know you do fun stuff on the side, and you fucking bilk your Patreon people, and then basically tell them to fuck off when you get a high-speed camera after you do some shit, and like, they disagree with you, and they try to fucking reason with you on it. Dude, that was fucking sleazy, by the way. I mean, you know what? This video has been is way too fucking long. It's almost 2 hours on a fucking 23-minute video. That's how much fucking information, in fact, and contradictory statements I'm making that literally do contradict you because they've got logic behind them instead of feelings, okay? This is what I've had to do to counter your 23-minute bullshit video. All right? So, anyway. Like I said, come after me. I really don't care. If you want to claim that I'm going to use this to try to get people to view my shit or subscribe, go right ahead. That's not the reason why I'm doing this. I really don't care if you do. But so feel free to. And to anyone who's watched this all the way through, I know we're a bit in here, but if you've watched it all the way through and you like what you've seen, hit that like button and definitely subscribe. Thank you for putting up with me going through this whole thing on a 20-some-odd minute video. But thank you. You all have a good day.